Yeah. That's an attention to Oyo State, where the death toll from Tuesday's explosion in the Bodija area of Ibadan stands at 5. But more people may still be trapped under the rubble. This follows the recovery of some body parts, which the Oyo State government confirmed are undergoing forensic tests. Olaide Oyewole has more.
Day after day, the rescue teams are not relenting as the responders continue efforts to rescue victims, pushing forward to reach ground zero in the comprehensive evacuation process. Survivors are still picking remnants of their possessions, with no choice left but to resign to fate and accept the current situation as their reality. Mr. Sunday Daniel, who lost his house and his wife currently receiving treatment, said he had lost property worth millions of naira to the disaster after escaping death by a whisker.
I'm coming from Awolowo Junction. Just remain like 3 minutes to reach our house here. Just see that there's a blast. When we got to the house, our wife already broke my leg. It's now in usage. The house help already died. We just see the corpse yesterday morning, over 60 million. Because there are four runners, it's over 10 million. This one, over 8 million. The house.
The Commissioner for Health, who was at the scene, explained that the death toll has not exceeded 5, as recently discovered body parts are undergoing forensic examination.
The report is not yet out. You know, it takes because they have to do the total body X-ray, check that, and they will do the post-mortem. They will now go to type and all that. So we have not gotten any of the reports.
For affected houses within the area, the lead for the emergency medical team assured that integrity tests have commenced and houses with defects would be demolished.
The Nigerian Society of Engineers have their machines, which they brought along, and haven't taken an area view. They can actually tell houses that are 200-300 meters away from the epicenter. But integrity tests is their mandate, and our responsibility is to wait for the report of whatever they have to offer us.
Lives cut short, properties worth billions of naira have been lost to this devastating incident. And for the survivors who are still counting their losses, the reality of the tragedy that has befallen them will continue to linger, and they hope that the perpetrators of this heinous act will be brought to book. Olaide Oyewole, TVC News, Ibadan.
For more on the update of the explosion in Bodija area of Ibadan, the President, Miners Association of Nigeria, Dele Anyolike, joins me on the news. Well, I'm curious about whether you were privy to the existence of illegal miners, as well as the scale and magnitude of the operation in Oyo State.
Well, thank you very much. I think we should please grant me the indulgence to, first of all, commiserate with those people, the victims of those who lost their lives, and also to pray that God will heal those that are injured, and at the same time that they will be able to recover their losses. We're talking about the issue of whether there's existence of illegal mining in Oyo State. I want to say that there is nowhere in the country where there are no incidences of illegal mining. And if you have been conversant with the news about the mining in this solid mineral sector in Nigeria today, you will know that one of the major issues on the burner is this issue of illegal operations. And it's not limited to, because when you observe what happened in this Ibadan case, I learned that there are some documents or some mining companies that have been discovered. But the issue that illegality is not limited to the field operations, because there are many aspects of in the sector. This issue of explosive is an aspect, and whether the person is a licensed operator or not, whether it's it has title or not, the way explosive that has been handled shows that it's very, very ignorant of the law.
But before now,
regulations.
Yes, so, before now, Mr. Anyolike, what steps have you taken as an association to ensure that your knowledge of the fact that, these illegal miners exist, that you are able to deal with the situation? What steps did you take before now?
We don't have any weapon to deal with illegal mining. What we do in our case is that the association does not register anybody that does not possess valid mining titles. This is what we ensure, because this is not every miner that belongs to the association. So it's only those with valid mining titles that we can admit into our membership. So talking in terms of because we are victims of illegal operations. Many times you see all these illegal miners besieging our own sites. So the only thing we can do is to report to the regulatory authority, which is the Federal Ministry of Solid Mineral Development, through the various state mines offices. So, and the capacity is limited in terms of monitoring the activities in the mine field. So, and sometimes also we do report to security agencies, but the fact is that we don't have any means to checkmate. We can only collaborate with the government by way of supplying information and by way of also sensitizing our members not to involve in any illegality.
But what practical steps, Mr. Anyolike, what practical steps would you suggest are taken to curb this in the trend? Because you have mentioned that it's not only operational in Oyo State, but across the country.
Well, we have been, this conversation has been on about what can be done to checkmate illegal mining. But from our own side, as the operators in the sector, we have been making known to the government. Of course, the minister also knows that the regulatory capacity, especially of the various mines offices, there is a lack of human and logistic capacity for them to be able to monitor these mine fields and checkmate that these are legal mining. So one reason, one factor one step that can be taken is to make sure that there's improvement in the capacity, both human and logistic capacity of the mines offices. Take for example, let me give you an example in Oyo State. There are so many mine sites in Oyo State, and with only one mines officer, this is very, very inadequate. Go to a state like Niger State. Niger State is like the whole of Southeast in terms of land mass, and there are mine sites all over. One mines officer cannot be able to regulate or to do the necessary inspectorate work that is supposed to do in this kind of situation. So there is need for the human and logistical capacities of all our mines offices across the nation to be improved. And also, I think we should be able to look at the issue of regulations, because at times we will hear a lot of these activities, banning mining activity here today, banning there tomorrow. What you have discovered is that each time such a thing happens, the only victims are the legitimate operators. The task forces must succeed in sending them out of the field, but when they send out of the field, they don't have the capacity to monitor and make sure that no other illegal miners go to those environments. So there should be a streamlining of regulatory issues between the federal government and the state governments.
President, Miners Association of Nigeria, Dele Anyolike, thank you very much for talking to us on TVC News at 10.
Thank you.